Let's talk. Let's test my sound. I messed up my pedal somehow. So hello, gather around, everyone. All right, hey, howdy, Tom. Oh, you're in Colorado skiing. Don't be skiing while you're watching this. And hello, Mark, Tom, Kurt, Dabs, and T, Adam. So far, there's a lot more of you, but you guys are brave enough to step up to the plate. Okay, so we're gonna have a quick Q&A about my from Fort Lauderdale. What's up, Rhett, my man? Hello, Alec. Everyone's chiming in now. If you're watching this in the playback, make sure you click on the live feed, live chat, so you can see how I'm interacting with everyone. Hello, Fishy. Hello, old guy. Hello, Doggy. Hey, Scott. Ready for Smooth. And Dave. I'll say hello to everyone. And Rory, and after Rory, hello to everybody. And Javon and old guy. Denver. All right, so you guys, hey Kevin, hey, do I sound closer? I'm in Florida. You're in Florida. You got to come over to the West Coast, man. And let's see. Oh, thank you, Sean. Sean mentions that he loves the Patreon channel. Now, a quick plug for the Patreon channel. I wanted to do something different from what I'm seeing on Patreon, and hopefully I'm delivering. Is I'm uploading like 3 to 5 videos a week, if not more now, and like kind of like backlogging all of my lessons and giving how I would practice them and like practice with me type things. I'll stop talking about that, but it's really cool and a lot of people are enjoying it, so I thank you for that. Let's just talk before I get to my point of view on the Smoothness videos. Does anybody have any questions about the Getting Smooth video? You know, from changing the chords type deal. I should turn my volume up a little. To playing anything, the pentatonics, nice and smooth. If I don't see any questions, it's okay. Because really, the whole idea of the smoothest thing is the idea of what's important for soloing. Well, when it comes to, practicing your smoothness, first time here, I love what you do. Thank you, Chris. Nice to have you here. So what was the question? What's important for soloing? There's a lot that's important for soloing. And I don't mean to sound rude, but like StichMethod is all about the improv and the soloing. But for smoothness, the idea is you don't want to, if you can't sew your notes together. Oh, you know what, Rhett, I used to play that. I used to know the whole thing and I forgot it. Maybe next live feed I'll learn it. And I have my MIDI file. And my MIDI guitar, and I can sound like a sax. It sounds pretty cool, which is great. But what's important for soloing in developing your smoothness is, to be honest, and I'm going to answer this question, is you first want to develop your smoothness in the pentatonic. You want to look out for not doing this. Did he? Okay, I'll reference to him. All right, and so the idea is once you can develop your smoothness, and remember, smoothness comes from breathing through your notes and matching up your voice to your hum, welding the notes together. Make sure you know. What kind of blues scale does this SRV use? Watch my blues primer list and watch my spanking chords video. All the answers are there, all of them. He's just really good at it. And so after you can sew your notes together, getting fast at it, that's the problem. You need to be able to sew your notes together first at a slow pace, and once both these hands get used to the timing of not touching the string until the pick fires, and that's a part of smoothness, then when you're soloing, you should have enough hours logged of practicing smoothness on and being able to play fast. So when it comes to like that type of thing. I'm not trying to show off that everything's timed out right. So, watch the smooth videos that I have. I have some smooth videos, smoothness videos. And I always talk about speed being a byproduct. Speed, you can't practice going fast on the guitar unless you're going fast and you're trying to practice your technique. If you practice your technique with your timing, then speed comes. And so just practice your technique and your timing, being able to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, breathe through. And then as you get better, you'll be able to speed everything up with your Hammonds. Okay, so nice. All right, so I have a lot of questions coming here. So, yeah, you guys like the... How could you not? And a little bit more hair for Jerry, you know? I got a bald spot right back here too, but you know, you never know. Hey, if any of you guys are hair transplant specialists, I'll give you some lessons. Now, what I want to talk about, okay, so there was a song in the third section of my Smoothness video that I told you I wasn't going to say the name of it, right? And Kevin, you were waiting for that. Yeah, this is You Enjoy Myself by Phish. In case you guys enjoyed it, I didn't want to say, oh, this is a Phish song, because everybody would be like, bleh. You know, like, no, I've, 110,000, 111,000 subscribers, and like 6,000 like Phish, and everyone else is like, you know, but whatever, the guy's really good. And so practicing that riff of You Enjoy Myself smoothly, boo, 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 boo. It's pretty important. I think you guys did. Any other questions about my Smoothness video? You know, my live feeds are here for you to kind of like, oh, it's a great riff, are for you to ask the questions that you have. No, there's no such thing as a bad question, really. Well, maybe there is on YouTube land, you know, for trolling purposes, I get that. But I'll sit here and I'll wait before I start talking about good old Lessie here. I'm just gonna, and while I'm looking over here, I have my computer loaded up with the live feed, so I'm just gonna take a look at what I missed. Oh, the guitar is quiet today? Yeah, I had to turn my volume down. I can turn it back up. I think I blew my speaker on my amp, which I don't like. I have to get that fixed or get a new amp. What about the guy that transcribed the amp? Oh, right, yeah, the guy transcribed all of You Enjoy Myself, and he handed it to Trey. I commented on the picture. I was like, that is awesome. All right, so I'm turning it. Well, my guitar or my voice? I can't turn my voice up. I'm gonna get a whole new mobile setup soon anyway. How do you decide what position to start your solos from? Well, that's a great question. Okay, it's not about smoothness, but give me 1 second. There was a question before that. Why do you look at key changes instead of mode changes in same key? Well, the key changes for me, it indicates what major scale I'm going to be working with, and I don't really think about modes a lot when soloing. I think about modes and the chord progressions, but for soloing purposes, if I have one major scale that's going to do it, I think about the major scale known as a key. That's what I do. It's too much to think about all the different modes and stuff. It's just, okay, it's a D mixolydian, okay, G major, great, start on the D, done. That's how I would do it. How do you decide what position to start your solos from? It's whatever I feel like. You know, like today I had this, did anybody catch what this was? Tony? Yeah, there you go, doggy. Okay, so the reason I brought that up is like, where do I decide to start? Hey, Drew, where do I decide to start soloing? It's where I really feel like it. And I'm not sounding cocky on this. Like, I'm just letting you know, like, I know the whole neck. You know, I know where I need to be whenever I need to be there. And again, that's not me being like, oh, look at that. It's just, I've been playing for 25 years and I teach, and so I'll do some right-hand stuff. And so it's, if I say, you know, hey, I want to start down low a little bit, I'll start down low. If I want to start up high, I'll start up high. Tony, by the way, your USBs are in the mail, and they went out either today or yesterday. So you should be getting them, I don't know, Saturday or maybe Monday. All right, is that guitar that had the broken headstock? Oh, hey, Dave! Dave, sorry, your USBs are in the mail too. Look at all you guys here. Damn it, oh, Mike and can't watch. I'm sorry, Jordan, I'm sorry. Okay, so really quickly, you're gonna have to go on the road for a while. What do we need to do? No, I'm going on the road, but I'm gonna still be doing YouTube channels. It's just gonna become StichMethod on the road. So I'm not leaving. I'm just gonna be in an RV, cramped up in an RV like corner somewhere, being like, hey everyone, here's another lesson. And I'll be doing live feeds probably from like Yosemite or Mount Rushmore or something. And so nothing's gonna change. I'm not leaving YouTube. I'm just gonna, I'm literally just going to be on the road doing YouTube and in a giant. Ian Spencer, hey, what's up, Ian? It's me, Ian. If you don't remember me from the grocery store. Oh, yes! From Publix. Hold on, time out. This is really cool, Ian. Okay, I think I remember this transaction. I will talk about my Les Paul in a second, but this is a funny transaction. It was late at night, right, Ian? Like, I had to go. There's a Publix right around the corner here. Part 2, Franklin's Tower. I'll get there. Chris, I'll answer your question. And I think I was wearing my StichMethod shirt, and he's like, oh, what is that? I'm like, oh, it's a YouTube channel. And he looked it up, and like his eyes like flashed at how many subscribers I had, and he was like, "Whoa!" And I was like, "Yeah, it's okay, it's cool." And he's like, "I'll subscribe and I'll watch you." And I'm not. I think that's Ian. So hello, Ian, and welcome to the channel. And that happened about like a month and a half ago. I think it was really funny, but it was a cute transaction. All right, so give me 1 second because I had a couple questions. Tony, we can play where's Ian? Like, where's Waldo? You can. Are you going to Swanee Rising in April? Well, Tom. I might be getting some press passes for Swanee Rising, so if I do, I'll let everyone know. There was a question here. I'm still struggling playing over chord changes. Should I change scales or just play the notes of the next chord in the original scales? That's a great question, Javon. And I have an In the Mind of Trey coming out. Trey Anastasio, one of my favorite guitar players, and I like him. And I want you to watch that. I'll talk about it because, you know, chasing chord tones in your soloing takes a lot of processing power. It takes a lot of processing power, and the idea is, well, how do we minimize that processing power so that we can play and kind of focus on it? I'll talk about that. I'm not going to do this in this live feed because it's not what the live feed's about, but I will get to that on my on my channel. But also, I do have a what's up, Nick? I have a video kind of recent about how to practice chord tones. I don't know if you've watched that, but I talk about the most important piece to seeing chord tones is to practice the chord tones. So I hope that answers. Let's see. The written question, was there ever a part 2 to Franklin's? No, there wasn't a part 2 to Franklin's, but I might put it up on my Patreon page. And the reason, let me explain. Anything that's titled, okay, listen guys, anything that's titled part 1, okay, on my channel, you gotta understand. Is anybody a fan of Mel Brooks movies? Like, yeah, raise your hand, or me. You know, he has the movie History of the World Part 1. All right? And there's no part 2. And I don't know what time it is. And at the end, they have a trailer for part 2, but there's no part 2. So when I started StichMethod, I thought it was a funny idea, like my own little like inside joke to like label part 1. I didn't realize that the videos would be that good. No, but I didn't realize like that. You know, I was new to like YouTube land, so I'm like, I'm gonna pump videos out. Maybe somebody will get the reference. But then I realized like, oh, there is more to do. So I apologize, and so I should make some part 2s, but that's a tip of the hat to Mel Brooks. Like, that's it right there. Okay, so at least you guys enjoy it, but I should make a part 2. All right. Oh my God, there's so many. You guys are awesome. Okay, let's see. Phish Summer Tour. I know Phish Summer Tour now. I'm trying to like be on the West Coast for that tour in my RV. So we'll see how it goes. Can Patreon members start a list of part 2s? Yeah, you can. You know, Sean is a Patreon member, and you can message me. I know that we need an Allman Brothers, Whipping Post part 2, a Franklin Sour part 2, some other part 2s that I need to get to. Have you seen Dead & Company do Sugaree? Oh, it's so funny. Yeah, yes, actually, yes. And I was just analyzing a Sugaree from Dead & Co. And I actually had a really good, like, when studying Dead & Company, I had a really good revelation about like John Mayer's playing, and so I'll talk about that too. I might do a video of like who wore it better, John Mayer or Jerry Garcia, but like we'll compare them. All right, so let's just talk about my Les Paul. All right, there's a reason I want to talk to you about my Les Paul. So sit back. If you don't want to know about my Les Paul, that's fine. But I can't show you, but I'm on my phone. And I have a friend, Scott, who I've known for a while, and long time. We played music together, and I played some music with him at his wedding. And I've had this, I've had this Les Paul since I'm 13 years old. Okay, I'll do it in the mind of Allman Brothers. Don't you worry. Just give me some time, guys. I am 40 years old. Okay, and so I'm 40. That sucks. Just saying it out loud. All right, so what? 27 years I've had this guitar. Is that correct? Yes, 27 years, okay. So I have this guitar for 27 years, and I'm going to explain it to you. I don't know, like, where. Okay, so I'll explain. This is. Oh my God, John, calm down. Calm down. Thank you, John. Thank you. I don't handle donations well, and the reason being, and I'll explain, is I know that you're enthusiastic about it, but I feel like I just want. Thank you. I have to thank you very much. That was very, very, very nice of you. But now to the show. This Les Paul is a 1992 Les Paul and has a 1959 neck. It is super, super thin. It is super thin. I mean, you can see how thin. I can grab this thing, my thumb wraps around. It's a thin neck. So thin, in fact, that the headstock has cracked off right here 3 times. Not in the same area, and I'll explain it. First, let's talk about the 3 cracks. Now, I'm never going to sell this guitar. This guitar plays like a dream, even though it's been repaired 3 times. It's been repaired by amazing luthiers, first of all, and so it really, this is my Les Paul. So the first time I tripped over this, I left my cord plugged in, and this was back in 2001, and I got up off my bed and just walked, and my foot hit the cord. And then all of a sudden, for anyone who snapped a neck off of any guitar, there's a sound that you don't even need to look at and see what happened. You know exactly what it is, even though you like never heard it before. It was just like, ding, and I went, oh. And I turned around, and there's my headstock. And again, I'm just going to tell stories now. This is Ian Stitch storytelling time, and hopefully, stop. Wait. And I was there and I saw what you did? Wait, what do you mean? What'd I do? No, okay, so let me explain. God, stop. All right, so this is Ian's storytelling time. Hopefully you can live vicariously through this whole like Les Paul, why this Les Paul is special to me and what this is. And I'll tell you all about it in all the nooks and crannies. All right, so it snapped off, and I was like, oh my God. And I lived in Northampton, Massachusetts at the time, and I knew the luthier at this really good guitar shop, and I just called them, and I was like, Ed, I'm like, I just snapped the Les Paul, I just snapped the headstock, and he was like, get it here now. And so I put it in the case, and it was really funny. The player, shit, stop. Sorry, told my first guitar yesterday. Oh, nice, man. That's really nice to hear, Nick. Congratulations, and thank you. That's really nice. So Nick started teaching. Go for it, Nick, and give me an email. I want to talk to you. I'll give you some tips about teaching and everything. So that's amazing. All right, so hold on. Let's refocus. No donations. I'm going to ignore the chat. And the coolest thing is I get to this guitar store, and there's like 15, 20 people, and they're all kind of like swimming around. And like I open the door, and like all these people like this, and I can see Ed like poke his hole through, and he's like, everybody out of the way. And I was like, whoa, and he's like, give it to me. And so I gave it to him, and he fixed it, and it was amazing. He fixed it really well. The second time it snapped, it was 2008 or 9, and my wife did the same thing. I left my plug in, and she walked around the corner, snagged it with a foot, snapped it off, boom. And at that point in time, I wasn't like, oh my God, because it had already happened. And I was like, all right, we get it fixed. Brought it to a luthier who lives like literally like 3 blocks away from me. He fixed it. And then, I don't know, maybe 2 years ago, I go to open up the case. It's in the case. It's sitting in the closet. Hasn't moved. It's sitting there. I open the case up, and the headstock's just off. In a new position, not in any of the 2 original cracks. And I was like, what the? So I brought it to a third luthier who fixed it. So anyway, it's perfectly fine. It's not weakened or anything. You can barely tell. I mean, I had to point it out. So let's go over the Les Paul. Now, what makes this Les Paul? And again, the reason I'm bringing this up is my friend Scott. I don't know if I mentioned this. He saw the Smoothness video, and he's like, dude, every time you play that Les Paul, it makes me happy. And I was like, yeah, it is a nice guitar. And then I got some kind of comments like, can we have a dedicated video about the Les Paul? And so here's my dedicated video. So this is it's a blonde top, okay? You can see it's wood grain, okay? And there we go. So wood grain. I mean, I can polish this thing up, but this is my workhorse, okay? Here's the back, okay? And so what made this stunning to me, this thing stays in, yes, this thing stays in 2. This is a 1992 Les Paul, which I believe is one of their best years on Les Pauls. Just to let you know, this thing is always been with me, and that's what I want to talk to you about, okay? So before I get there, so I got this when I was 13. You can kind of see down here there's some gold on plated pickups, maybe up here. And I got it, and my dad was so excited that I got it. It's a 1992, and my dad went out and like bought the best metal polish you could possibly buy. And he's like, here, I got this for your guitar. And I was like, oh, awesome. And I took the strings off, and I put a little dab here, and I got my cloth, and like, and the gold just came right off. And you can see it also on the stop bar. You can see how it's gold here. And I was like, what the fuck? And I don't know, 15 pounds. And it's been like that ever since. So it's been this blended, like, gold, silver hardware stuff. Now, 1992, it weighs, I mean, it's not chambered. It's a beast. It's about 13, 14 pounds. And I know I'm talking a lot, and this is just a live feed of just me talking. So I'm sorry if you're watching this in the replay and going, this sucks, but I have people here I'm talking to. So I'll tell you a quick story about this. Hello, Tack. Is it okay that I keep on telling you stories about this guitar and what it means to me and how awesome it is, and that if you need to buy a Les Paul, I suggest that you get a 1992 Les Paul. So anyway, I'm just going to show it off. It's got a lot of, you know, road wear on it. I don't know if you can see, you can see some belt rash and stuff. Yeah, Tom, you know, I might be doing a caged masterclass on my Patreon page. I really just, I hate talking about the Patreon thing, but like, instead of me building a whole subscription-based website, it's like, well, I have Patreon and it's so interactive and so cool. But yes, I might be doing that. All right, so I'll tell you some quick stories about this Les Paul. So the guitar I've had since I'm 13, and this is the guitar that I learned everything on. And I want to explain this to you. This guitar, if you're a fan of StichMethod, all right, if you are a fan of StichMethod, this is the machine that I discovered everything on. Everything, right here. It's been with me through the good, the bad, the ugly, and the best, right? And all my discoveries and all my time and all my efforts and everything, this is the guitar, okay? And so I'm sure all of you guys will have this guitar, like have a guitar in your life like that, but I will say, the way I found this guitar, now whether you are religious or not, believe in whatever you want, I'll tell you that I do believe in what we'll call the universe, okay? That's all I'll say. And my dad took me to the small guitar store in Smithtown, Long Island, Smithtown, New York. And I don't know. This was, okay, Dave asked, how'd you get a 92 with a 50, oh no, it's a 59 neck or 50, yeah. When they looked it up, it was actually called a Les Paul Custom Standard. Okay, so this is what it was called, a Custom Standard, which I've never seen before. And so, take five, we'll do. So he took me to this small store, and I'll never forget it. Picture a store 30 feet by 30 feet. That's it. Had 4 windows on each side, one here, here, and here, and here. Door was here. I opened the door, and this Les Paul was in a guitar holder in front of a window, and the sun was just like right, you know, boom, blaring through it. And it opened the door, and it was like, and I was like, I want that. That's the guitar I want. And my dad was like, okay. And I was like, sweet. And I picked up. Oh, and the first thing I played on it. I remember I sat down, and I remember, this was before I got into Hendrix. I remember I sat down. You guys are making me remember things from, I don't know, 27 years ago. I sat down, and I was a huge fan of Zeppelin. Remember that. It was before I discovered Hendrix. And there was another guy in there, and I went, and he went, hey, Joe. And I was like, what the hell is he talking about? Like, what the hell? And I was like, Anyway, and I was like, how much was this? This was $11.99. Okay, so it was $11.99 when I got it. And it's been, you know, with me my entire time. So this is my Les Paul. It's got the standard, everything in it is stock. Everything in this thing is stock. I never got it touched. Oh, you can see, like, you know, I have very acidic hands, and you can kind of see the tuning pegs. Let's see, it's hard, but they're not pitted, but you can kind of like, hey Scott, you can kind of feel that, like, you know, I got my hands on these, they're a little like grooved. Anyway, so I got to put new strings on this, but this is my Les Paul, and I hope that you enjoyed being here. Any questions? Let's see. Sweet guitar. Thanks for the thanks from Ireland. No, thank you, Thomas. And so that was just story time with Stitch. How long ago did you buy it? Okay, so this is in 1992. I got this in 1993, actually. So, hey, Stitch man, I can't find your email. Can you point me to it? Nick, Stitch, STICH, 1T, StichMethod @gmail.com. Ricky, okay, everyone, okay, time out. Ricky, everyone, I need a hand clapping emoji, or I need like a thumbs up for Ricky. I'm going to tell you the story about Ricky and how you guys, this is like how you guys affect my life here. Ricky here contacted me about 1.5 years ago about a custom video, and I'm not gonna lie, I let him down. I got so busy, and he just reached out to me again, and he went to his first blues open mic night, and he immediately said, like, at first it was a little rough, but he actually, by the end of it, really got the reins of it and did well. And so we are all going to say to Ricky, who's in North Carolina, like, great job with developing your confidence and your skills enough to go out and do it. And that makes me incredibly happy. And so thank you. Like, honestly, it was such a nice story to hear. Studio standard, if I ever broke my neck, I'd freak out. I always unplug it. If you break a guitar neck, yes, if you break a guitar neck, it's not the worst thing in the world, okay? Well, I lie. If you break a headstock, it's not the worst thing in the world. If you break it down here, you're gonna have some problems. Nice, way to go. Yeah, so everybody's still cheering for you, Ricky. That really makes me very, very happy. Which brings me to a point. You know, we're all sitting here in our houses or wherever you are on a phone or computer, and we're learning, we're talking like all over the world, but you really want to get out and play. And I think open mic nights are great. And I think that one of my next videos will be dedicated to how do you get out and do an open mic night, open blues jam, right? And I think that's very important. I want all of you guys to do it. I love your channel, your video, In the Mind of Zappa. Everybody asked me for a Zappa video. I just haven't really got to it. I should. You know, I have to listen to more Zappa. I really do. Mandolin isn't the worst. I have one. No, you can get that fixed. They use. Okay, what type of glue? Let's see. This is what I hear from every luthier. I don't know if it's like a sales pitch, but they say, don't worry, it's not going to break in the same place it ever does again because I use blank glue. What type of glue do they use? Let's see if anybody's snapped a headstock and gotten this type of reaction. Because I always find it odd that they always use the same. Ooh, dude, Steve Kimmock is sick. Yeah, Steve Kimmock is sick. I do Skype lessons, but I have about 1,800 people on a waiting list, and I feel that's it. That's why I'm doing my workshops, okay? Because it's just crazy. No, look at it. Not Gorilla. No, yacht glue. Every single one was like, this is the glue that everyone uses on yachts, and it holds the wood together. So if it holds the wood together on a yacht, it's gonna hold your guitar neck together. And I'm like, all right, Javon with the win, Elmer's. There you go. Frank was a nutty genius. All right, so I got to get running. This was, can I jump in the queue for $1 billion? We'll cut Nathan. We'll cut in half. $500 million, you'll jump right to the line. Will Jerry Masterclass be on Patreon? Ooh, I got to contact Alan. I should do that. Yeah, there's so much to do. You know, guys, it's so weird. My whole life is changing. It's all because of you. Like, you know, in 4 months' time, I am on the road in an RV, doing YouTube still, doing my live lessons, traveling around, maybe doing, like, pentatonic and blues workshops. No, I used to gig a long time ago, but, who's this? Thirstonite, whatever. Let me explain something. Everyone asks, do I gig a lot? And I'm going to be very, very honest with you, and I think some of you know this. My passion is in teaching, okay? My passion is helping other people conquer this, okay? Very funny, Kevin. That's my passion. Seeing everybody's eyes light up like, whoa, like, or aha. Life's too short. There's no reason to struggle over this thing. I don't need to go out. I don't need to go out and go, look how good I am at playing. And that's not me saying, like, you shouldn't do that. I love teaching. I love teaching. I love, whoa, stop. It really, thank you. All right, listen. Thank you. Who was that, Scott? Skip. It's going well, and thank you for that. You don't have to do that. But I've lost my train of thought. I love teaching a lot, and I love making people smile a lot. I love helping people feel confident about themselves and their journey on this instrument. and that's what I love doing. And so I do it a lot. I do it 50 to 60, maybe 70 hours a week. I have no idea anymore. And because of that, I just don't gig a lot. Okay, so well, thank you. So I hope that made sense. So all right, I'm gonna go. What he said. You guys are great. Thank you so much for just being here. There's a lot of you here. There's a ton of you here. For everyone who donated, thank you. You know, I don't know if there are any questions about my Les Paul. You know, I want to. I know. Well, thank you. Thank you. Oh, Roger here. He came to the very first workshop. You don't owe me anything. You're a big fan, and you know he sat down with me, and he RLB52. He sat down with me and was like, you know, this is your passion. I was like, oh my God. Wes Montgomery? No, I can't. Are you that Wes? I wish, or did you say Yem? Because I don't know if you missed your fingers. Don't go, man. Need to learn. Just tuned in. Oh, okay. Well, I have a 1960 anniversary telly. Well, take care of that, man. So listen, for all of you, you know, I'm going to give you some recommendations here, really quickly. I have some underrated video. I have one underrated video that I think is really important. You know, one of the questions that came up was like following chord tones, okay? Now here's the deal. I know it's hard. I know it's hard to learn a roadmap. Doggy, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to get a red mark here. Thank you, Doggy. You don't have to do this. You don't have to do this. It's okay. You don't have to do it. It's okay. Stop. All right. What the hell was I saying? I really forgot. I forgot what the hell. Oh, underrated video. Right. Okay. What the hell was I saying? Oh, you know, the chord. I know it's hard to find chord tones, and so if it's hard to find chord tones, and you're thinking about these multiple lights lighting up and how do I get to them, well, take that out of the equation. Take that out of the equation. How about just one note at a time? And so I do have a soloing over Hey Joe video. And it's about hitting one note that you choose at the chord change. And it gets you at least on the path to understanding how to think in a less complicated fashion. And so if you just type in StichMethod Hey Joe, you'll see this little graphic of Hendrix being like, hey Joe, this is how I use the E minor pentatonic, or something like that. Anyway, I'm gonna go. I gotta, oh my shit. Okay, stop. I learned a lot from broke you. Thank you, Chris, Doggy, Chris. Thank you, everyone. You don't have to do this, okay? So who wore it better? Oh, so the who wore it better is probably going to be Jerry and John Mayer. The thing is that Jerry always wins, but John Mayer's approach is different. So that Hey Joe video works like mad, guys. Oh, thanks, man. Thanks, Ricky. Did it loop? So yeah, you know the Hey Joe video. I'll give you a little example of it before I go. Shit. Oh, stop. I don't even, Doctor. I'm gonna call you Dr. BMTT. All right, so I know I gotta watch the language. I'm sorry if there's youngsters here. I apologize. Don't use that language. Okay, I lost control of myself. Don't do that. All right, so the Hey Joe video. The idea is, and I'll explain it to you, but watch the video. The idea is he uses an E minor pentatonic because Ricky Stewart, you don't have to do that, but thank you. Ricky, thank you. And I know, listen, from Ricky, that means a lot. Thank you, Ricky. But cease with the donations, okay? In the Mind of Stitch. I do have a small In the Mind of Stitch video, but let me show you. Watch the Hey Joe video. You know, it talks about the first note is, he uses an E minor pentatonic. What's very, very cool is that there's no C in the E minor pentatonic, but he uses the E and G of the C chord. I discussed this in ad nauseum in the video. I'm going fast now. And then he goes to a G chord, and inside the E minor pentatonic are the notes to a G chord. And then he goes to a D, and inside the E minor pentatonic there's a D, there's the D and the A, right? And then, I'll explain this, and then in the A there's the E and the A. And so he uses this pentatonic to hit one of those notes, like. Yeah, I got which one. Come on. There we go. So if you want it, that's me being an E minor pentatonic and just kind of like hitting one note on those chord changes, and that video discusses it. And it's an underrated video. It has almost 100,000 views, so it's not underrated. I just, for that question, how do you follow chord tones, I would start there. All right, guys, I gotta go. You are all awesome. Every single, almost 140 of you, you're all awesome for being here. It makes my day. I'm gonna go. So I'm gonna hit this button. Okay, so I'm gonna hit this button, and here we go. Everyone, have a good night, and might I just say, even though I'm like a little bald up here, I feel like my whole hair and everything, hair-beard combo looks really good right now. So anyway, Tony, good to see you. If you've come to my Never Lost Live workshop, the past one in November, the USB sticks are in the mail. They're in the mail for anyone who's on the live chat. You're awesome. Good night, good night, good night, good night, good night.